Are you tired of the same old history lessons? Looking for a fresh take on the past? Well, look no further. Check out the Stupid History Minute podcast, the show that makes history fun, one ordinary item at a time. Hosted by KEB, the Stupid History Minute is not your typical award-winning podcast. In fact, it's proudly non-award-winning, but that's what makes it so special. Dive into the extraordinary stories behind everyday items that shaped our world. From toothbrushes to paper clips, you won't believe how these everyday objects have extraordinary tales to tell. It's the kind of history you'll want to binge on, and you'll wonder how you ever lived without it. So don't miss out. Tune in to the Stupid History Minute today, and be taken on an enlightening journey through the quirkiest corners of history. Available wherever you listen to podcasts. Subscribe now, and get ready to fall in love with the ordinary. Don't forget about the Stupid History Minute.
What's happening, everybody? This is the KEB. Haven't done one of these in a while, but you are in the car with the KEB, and I usually do things like this when I'm feeling salty and got some things to bitch about. And if you're in one of those moods to where you just want somebody to bitch about something, this is going to be the next good 20-30 minutes for you, because those of you that are familiar with me, the car is definitely not my happy place. I've got about a 30-35 minute drive here. Thought I would lay some things down here that have been on my chest. But first, this wasn't on my chest. It just got on my chest because I just put gas in the car, and I think whoever comes up with the gas prices must be a woman, because they can't make up their motherfucking mind. 2 fucking weeks ago, I put gas in the car, easy $3.50. Like 2 minutes ago, I just put gas in the car, $2.99. Now, I was at the same fucking place. It's the same place I go, BJ's. If you don't live where there's a BJ's, it's kind of like a Costco or a Sam's. But $2.99. Yeah, so it's going up and down. It's this roller coaster of gas prices. And people just need to make up their fucking mind. How about $3? $3.25. So, those of us that are organized can budget accordingly. Because you're fucking $4 and then you're fucking, $2.50 bullshit, you can't budget that accordingly. It's kind of like, one night I'm going to eat Little Caesars, next night I'm going to eat Ruth's Chris. You can't budget accordingly. Those two absolutely have nothing fucking to do with one another. I don't know why I just felt like I needed to say that. Probably because I'm in the car. I'm on edge already, people. I'm on edge. A lot of people tell me that I should record myself when I'm going in the car, but, I like to have something to talk about. I don't listen to a lot of music in the car. I like music. I like all kinds of music. Big rap fan. But, I don't, listen down, because then I'm a performer by nature. So then I want to sing. And then you got, stopped at a traffic light, and you look over next door, next is it's like in that Adam Sandler movie with Terry Crews singing, in the next car over. That's me, and I'm going to town, doing some MC Hammer. You can't touch this, my love for the Vanilla Ice, real quick, if you're on Netflix, check out the movie Old Dads. It's with Bill Burr, Bobby Cannavale, and It's pretty funny. It's based on Bill's stand-up because if you follow Bill Burr like I do, listen to his podcast, things of that nature, you're going to find that. Oh, you're going to let me over, motherfucker. Okay. You're going to find that a lot of his stand-up is in this movie. Bill wrote the movie. He directed the movie. Anyhow, it's it's pretty funny. Talking about people on electric scooters, which is funny because I kind of want an electric scooter. Do you guys have an electric scooters? You know what I'm talking about? Not like the scooter you got to push with your fucking foot, but like an electric scooter that that just goes. It's one of those fucking things that goes. I'm curious too, and you guys can hit me on the comment or the fucking DM or whatever. When you're cruising down the interstate, what is your cruise control speed? Interstate, all things being equal, the speed limit's 70 miles an hour. Are you kicking the cruise control on at 70? Or do you set it at 75? Do you set it I set it at 84. And you might think that might be dangerous, but I don't really give a fuck what you think. I'm in the fucking car. But I feel that at 85, cops might pull me over, but at 84, they're like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. I feel that 84 is a good speed, but I'm curious as to where everybody's at. I know St. Joe is easy, like he's got it pegged. He probably doesn't even use fucking cruise control, but if he does, he's probably got it pegged at like 120. That's the only guy that I can ride with that I'm fucking, a little nervous. Not scared, but a little nervous. Because that motherfucker, he doesn't give a fuck. He won't yell at you and shit. He'll just run you the fuck over in his, Suburban or Tahoe or whatever the fuck he has. And then there's this fucking guy. Me and Beebs have talked about him before. There's this fucking guy. I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't pay me to say his name. That's funny. But he's a fucking guy that wears a purple shirt. And if you're out there and you wear a purple shirt, you're just asking for people like me to call you fucking Grimace or Barney. Anyhow, so he wears a purple shirt. He has this like Porsche Cayenne from like 1974 that he's very proud of. And I guess that is one thing to be proud of. If you have like what people consider to be an old car, but it's or like an expensive car, but it's old, are you still cool, or are you kind of a douche nozzle? I don't know. I'm not calling this guy a douche nozzle because, he's all right. But he definitely does and owns douche nozzle things. Like this Porsche Cayenne. I'm exaggerating, of course, but it's easy like 2003, something like that. It's old. Most of us have cars that are, less than 5 years old. Anyhow, but what really, I don't want to say it bugs me, but what's really interesting is that he has a motorcycle. And one would think, looking at him, that if you met this guy and you're like, okay, this guy has a motorcycle, he probably has like a Kawasaki or a Honda or something, that down here they call them, I don't know if I could say this or not. I probably shouldn't. If you have to question yourself on whether you should say something or not, you probably shouldn't say it. But anyhow, they call them a version of a rocket down here. Or down here in the deep south. But if you know the term, then you know what I'm talking about. I don't think it's a very nice term. That's why I'm not going to say it. And you might be saying to yourself, why aren't you going to say the nice term when, every chance you get, you're telling people to go fuck themselves? That's something. There are people that deserve and have earned the fact that I tell them to go fuck themselves. They should wear it like a badge of motherfucking honor. Because if you get to the point to where I've told you to go fuck yourself, then, it's like a thing. Like you could tell somebody to go fuck themselves without saying the term, go fuck yourself. I gave you an example. In my house, we like to play this game every night called What's for Dinner, and I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it every night. So I've come up with a thing to where if by the time I get home, no one has decided what's for dinner, I'm going to decide what's for dinner, and it's probably going to be some form of either pizza, tacos, or we're going to Chili's. It's going to be one of the three of those, depending on what kind of fucking mood I'm in. So, I get home, and, I kind of beat around the bush. I just don't walk in the door and I go, what's for fucking dinner? But you know what? I've been slaving away all goddamn day. I'm fucking hungry. I haven't eaten since noon. I like to eat a later lunch, 1 o'clock. But I get hungry. And so when I get home, 6, 7 o'clock at night, I like to know, that we at least have a plan for dinner. Now, I grew up in a Swedish household. We tend to eat dinner later in the evening, as most Europeans do. That's just how my family operates. So I don't sometimes eat dinner until 9 o'clock at night. I'll have a snack, if I'm starving, but a lot of the times I don't eat dinner until 9 o'clock at night. Fourth inning of the Braves game. So, excuse me. So, I'll come in, and after a while, I'll be like, hey, what's for dinner? And the soon-to-be world-famous wife will sit there and look at me and be like, I don't know. That is telling me to go fuck myself without using the term, go fuck myself. Now, you could flip that around if you listen to Refiltered a couple of weeks back. I was talking about how I give people the thumbs up when I'm done with a text message conversation. Now, you could say that's telling people to go fuck themselves without using the term go fuck yourself. Sure. Absolutely. I do it all the fucking time. I really don't care. I don't think that is prudent for a person or anybody to hold a text message conversation past 5 texts unless you're just trying to be a keyboard commando or whatever. If you want to have a conversation with me, I suggest that you call me on the telephone so I can get you off of there quickly, because I don't like talking on the phone either. Contrary to popular belief, I do not like to hear myself talk. In certain circumstances, I do. But I find talking on the phone such a waste of time. And I find having a text message conversation an even bigger waste of time, depending on what it's about. Now, if it's important and the other person is in a place to where they cannot talk, that's a different story. But if it's texting me going, what are you, or I got one person that will text me WYD. And the first time this person texts me WYD, I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I grabbed my daughter, and I'm like, what does this mean? And she goes, it means, what are you doing? Why would this person give a fuck about what I'm doing? What I'm doing is trying to figure out what the fuck WYD means. So I text him back. I'm like, don't ever fucking text me that again. Fucking type it out. What are you doing? Question mark. Type it out. Don't try to be, because I'm not friends with my daughter's friends or the young people. My friends are all in their either late 40s, early 50s. With a few honorable mentions to some in their 30s. I do have one friend in his late 20s that I talk to often. But me and that person don't see eye to eye on shit like this either. And no, that's not the person who sent it to me. But I wouldn't. He doesn't have the balls to send that to me. But I wouldn't put it past him to put. I mean, he does the normal acronyms like LOL and LAMFO or whatever. But he doesn't have all that. So this person texts me WYD. That is not a good way to start a text message conversation with me. You got to get me involved in the conversation. You got to text me something that I'm interested in, or I'll just motherfucking ignore you. And I find that is common with people of my age. That if they don't want to text you, like, remember when texting first started, and then like you would text somebody, and then or somebody would text you, and then they get offended if you didn't text them right the fuck back. And so you had to text them at least like hang on, or something like that to acknowledge that they text you. Now I just don't give a fuck, right? If I can't talk or don't want to talk to you or anything like that, I'll just fucking read the text and just put my fucking phone down. Because there is a point in time, there are some days to where I think people need to do that. They need to put the fucking phone down. We're so zombie-like with these devices that, put it down, watch a show, man. How many of you out there kick on Netflix, kick on a show, and then get your phone in your hand and look at shit on your phone when you should be watching the show? I guarantee you the majority of people listening to me right now do that very thing. I'm not going to say I've never done it, but I don't do it often because I don't want to miss something, especially if I haven't seen it before. Sure, if I'm watching The Big Bang Theory or a commercial comes on, like on a game that I'm watching or something like that, or the Braves are getting their ass kicked and I just have it in the fucking background and I'm just, watching, hoping for a comeback, or the Jags, are on, it's halftime and they're doing the score updates and shit like that. Sure. But if I'm watching a show or a game that I'm interested in, man, my phone is on the right cushion of my recliner. Right cushion is there. If it buzzes, I'll look at it. I also have a digital watch, a smartwatch that buzzes every time somebody texts me. I'm not going to miss it, but if you're texting me during a fucking game that that I'm watching, man, you better check the score. You got some fucking balls, because that's going to be depicted on A, how much I've drank, and B, what kind of KEB you're going to fucking get. And I find that the same is true for most people that I deal with. And I don't deal with the fucking scum of the earth, man. I got some good people in my life, but people that don't run at the pace that I do, don't understand, I don't do I'll do it when I get around to it, with some things. Now, there are some things, soon to be world famous wife would argue with me up and down. They'd be like, yeah, you do. On some things I don't deem important. I don't deem that the Tetris-like way to load the dishwasher, I don't think that's important. I just think you put the shit in there, you close the thing, put some fucking soap in, you close the thing, you hit go. that way. If it's too full, then keep the other shit in the sink and put it in the next one until the sink's empty. But you got to do the dishes until the sink is empty. Because you don't want a big sink, and then you get bugs and shit like that. And for those of us that live in the forest, where it's a fucking full-time fucking job keeping bugs out of the fucking house, and animals, critters, snakes, roaches, and things like that. I mean, if you live I don't live in a rural area. I live on a nature preserve, so we have lots of wildlife and bugs and wasps and stuff like that. So you gotta keep you on your toes. You gotta stay alert, especially at night, because our driveway's really long. It's not really long, but it's probably longer than the normal driveway, and it's probably triple a normal driveway. And not a lot of exterior lighting out there. We like to keep the money in the house. So it gets pretty dark out there. So a lot of times you gotta take a flashlight, and maybe a walking stick or a golf club, as I do, to ward off evil things. To make sure that you're not going to get bit. So with that, good conversation on the text message conversation. I'm anxious to see what you guys think about the texting and all the stuff. I don't even remember what we went through here, but we have fun. So this is another edition of In the Car with KEB. And maybe we'll do one once a month. I don't know. We haven't done one in forever. The last time that I did one, somebody out there told me that I did it too often. So maybe once a month, maybe once a quarter. I get, salty like this often. But, with that, see you guys next Wednesday on the regular Refiltered program. I hope you liked all the comedians this week. And be listening to the Stupid History Minute. It's every day. And go check out all the properties of Unfiltered Studios over at unfpod.com. So with that, my name is KEB. We'll catch you next time.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings. Taste the biscuit. Taste the
This podcast is a
the
production of
biscuit.
Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.